Can you help your child develop coping skills for anxiety? Stay tuned, because this is what I'm talking about today. Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is the 7th video of an 8 video series. Remember to find all the other videos in the playlist. And in this video, I am going to dive into helping your child developing coping skills for anxiety in communication. I'll talk about how to coach them through their anxiety and help them to overcome it. So let me know below, where are you following me from and the age of your child. Now, the key is to break tasks down into achievable steps so they can feel proud of themselves as they grow and become more resilient. And that is a really important word. And obviously, I will also share some example on how I've coached children to conquer the anxiety. So let's get started. Now, before I jump into the nitty-gritty, let's do a little recap of what I covered in the other videos of the series. So I talked about the importance of the adult's mindset and how, as adult, we can model for our children that it's okay to feel anxious no matter what the anxiety is, not just selective mutism, but we can still choose our actions. Then I talked about creating an emotional safety for the children as they face their fears, supporting them, but especially letting them know that we have challenges, but they can also handle their challenges. Remember the family dynamic approach. Now, let's take things to the next level. I talked about the plant analogy and the greenhouse. So the goal of the greenhouse isn't just to keep plants safe, but also to help them to grow and become strong and functional. So our role as adults should be to help children grow through anxiety, not to prevent them from feeling that sense of anxiety. So like gardeners in a nursery, as we gradually challenge plant to grow stronger, we do the same thing for the children, and I do the same thing as a therapist. So we want to create a structure around them. Now, there are 4 main steps to coaching our children through anxiety and helping them develop coping skills. So let's look at them together. So first, we need to connect with our child emotionally and validate their feeling without judgment. I can see that that is scary. Then we break tasks into small baby steps. That's why we talk about the scale of confident speaking, steps to brave talking. Everything is in a step, right? Next is the practice, which is the exposure that I talk about in the masterclasses. And then we give them lots of attention when they face their fears. So really, it's all about breaking it down and taking one step at a time without thinking, oh, he's able to do this, why can he do the next one? So let's talk about how to break tasks down into baby steps. So there are 4 key elements to do this effectively. First, we need to find the best accommodations. So, and that is help your child accomplish the task and not to avoid it. So for example, if your parents are coming to see you or people that your child doesn't speak to, what we want to do is we want the child to be in the same room rather than avoid saying hello, avoid being in the same room. We can wave together. So it's not about talking, it's about communication. So we are not avoid any form of communication. So you need to practice with the waving or with your child being in the same room or your child speaking to you. I always say this because children with selective mutism are scared to have their voice heard. Secondly, we need to structure the task in a way that allows your child to spend more time in this situation. So we don't want them to always stay in their comfort zone or throw them into a task that they find overwhelming. Then we need to find the right balance. So if your child doesn't sit too close to your parents, initially the child will be far away, then the child comes closer. If your child doesn't speak to your parents or speaks to you, you can speak to your child as you and your child are far away, and then you come a bit closer. Third is key to let your child know that it's okay to feel nervous. You want to say that beforehand. And especially when we're doing something that we've not done for a long time and the words are hiding. So it really primes their brain to learn and help them become more resilient and able over time. And let them know that it's normal to feel scared or anxious when they're using their words. You know, it's okay. That is why I use the depersonalization. So lastly, practice, and repetition are key. So you do not want to move to the next step, meet other people, meet your parents in another situation, have your child talk in a different situation. You want to take your time, and that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. So how do we actually break tasks down? Now, there are a few strategies we can use. One way is to watch example of other people doing the task. Another way is to pretend play or characters using your imagination. And you can also break tasks down into tiny little form and decrease the duration and the intensity of the task that your child is doing. So we want to add some, tiny support. But let me give you some example because that makes real sense. So your child wants to order an ice cream. And what you want to do, you want to start by looking at a picture of someone ordering ice cream. So you want to play with ice creams at home, you want to talk about ice cream, you want to pretend to be in the ice cream shop or whatever shop. And then what you do, you go inside the ice cream shop, in and out, you talk inside the ice cream shop. This is called shaping. So you are exposing your child until your child feels comfortable going into the shop and speaking to you and ordering to you until then you say to the ice cream person, did you hear that? Another example, for example, if your child is scared in speaking in class, you can have a video of the class, of the noise of the class, children speaking in the class, going into the class when the class is empty, asking the school if you can go to the class in the classroom or in the school and speaking to you. So what you want to do is the desensitization of your child speaking to you in school first. So remember, practice and repetition are key. You need to celebrate in a way their progress and give them the attention. Meaning that I can see that you were trying, I can see that it looked scary, but you still tried it. Slowly but surely, you want them to understand that they are learning to exercise the brave muscle and being competent in facing their fear. Now, this is a lot of information. I know it's a long video, but trust me, practice is essential and is worth it. And in the next video, I will explain a handful of other tools you can use to help your child facing the anxiety of speaking. So remember to stay tuned and watch the other videos of this series. Now, if you also want to learn even more about this topic, I have a course called Steps to Brave Talking. It's an online course for parents of children with selective mutism. So check the link in the description for more information. Thank you for watching and remember to subscribe because I post every week. So, ciao for now.